What really fills me with sadness and regret is reflecting on the last weeks of Jack's life. He had to be in a hospital because the care home couldn't deal with the situation he was in. It would have been far nicer if he could have been in his own room, in the place he knew, with the voices and the faces that he knew. It was sad for me. I was later told it was sad for the care staff too. It was clear during the last admission that Jack wasn't getting any better. The doctor said he wasn't responding to the antibiotics. At first they decided that he would be sent back home, but he was deteriorating fast. He wasn't eating or drinking. He was actually starting to choke on his food, and they were giving him a thickened diet and a thickened fluid to stop him choking. So they waited for another week and said, we'll wait until the manager of the care home assesses him and tells us whether she feels they can take him back to the residential home. The home felt that, as they didn't have a nursing care unit on site, they couldn't meet his needs. And that was that, really. As a family, we wanted him to go back to his home because we firmly believed that it was his home. It had been his home for the last 2 years, and he'd got to know the staff, and the staff had got to know him really well. Looking back, we really wanted him to go back there, to his own home, to his own room, have his own personal things around him, and really be supported by the people who knew him. In the last few days, even though it appeared obvious to us that Jack was now dying, no one actually told us he was dying, making me wonder whether he really was. In fact, nobody really spoke to us at all. He didn't seem peaceful. He was restless. I was worried he was in pain. Staff said they were all doing their best, doing all that they could. I remember a palliative care doctor came to assess his medications, and soon after that everything fell into place. He was placed on a pathway, and he became peaceful the day before he died. When somebody dies from dementia, you feel. Certainly he was in bed. He was having difficulty breathing. He couldn't eat properly. But I can't say I hope he lives a long time, because you're looking at him and you're thinking, you're dying. But at the actual point where he died, the sense of loss wasn't there. Because there'd been many times when I'd come out of that home and I had cried just as hard as when he died, because I could see him slipping away from me, little by little. He was going. He was leaving. And then, of course, that means you feel guilt, because you say, my husband's just died and I'm not feeling the sense of loss that I should be feeling. But you've been feeling it over a long time. You've been feeling it over a really long time. The minister who led his funeral was very empathetic. He listened very well to what I had to say. And he also listened to people who were at the church and who'd known Jack very well. He did a celebration of his life rather than a funeral. And he talked an awful lot about the way he had been, with the jokes and The fun. Oh, he always used to be a lot of fun. He always used to want to help people. Used to like to help people. And that made it easier for me to think back and remember him. When I think back over the last 5 years, I'd prefer to blot most of it out. My happy memories are all the years before that, when he was somebody who was a joker. He was somebody who really cared about people. That's how Jack would want to be remembered.